Welcome to Sports. I'm Joe Kennard. The Pitt State Gorillas continue their 2011 campaign this week at the Truman State University Bulldogs. We go to the first quarter with Pitt State driving down the field and down 3-0. It's 3rd and 8 from the Truman 48. Zach Dickey drops back to pass but is intercepted by Truman Dennis Walls. He takes it all the way down the Bulldog sideline and into the end zone for a touchdown. PAT is good, making it 10-0 for the Bulldogs. With 15 seconds left in the first, Truman State now up 13-0. Pitt State sets up for a kick return following the made field goal. John Thomas retrieves the kickoff. He gets a few blocks, makes a few moves, and finally finds a hole. Down the Truman sideline he goes for a 91-yard touchdown. PAT is good, 13-7 Truman State. To the fourth quarter, Pitt State has the ball at the 1-yard line. Zach Dickey keeps the ball and takes it in for the score. Point after is good, Pitt up for the first time in the game, 17-13. Later in the fourth, same score, Pitt State in punt formation. Truman State's Richie Schumacher blocks Jake Craig's punt. Schumacher recovers the ball as well for a touchdown. The point after is missed. Truman only up 19-17. With 1:05 left in the game, Truman down 20-19. J.B. Clark completes his pass to Donald Harvey. He runs for 48 yards, gets tripped up, but he pitches it to Andy Munwiller at the 15, who takes it in for the touchdown. PAT is good. The Bulldogs up 26-20. That wasn't all for the Gorillas. Thanks to excellent clock management by senior Zach Dickey, he gets the Gorillas down to the 4-yard line with 19 seconds left. Dickey takes the ball in on the QB read and waltzes in for the score. The first PAT attempt was blocked, but there was offsides on the play. Second attempt is good. That would be all in the game. Pitt State wins a nail-biter 27-26. They are now 3-0 on the season. Turnovers were the biggest factor in the game as Truman threw 4 interceptions and Pitt State threw 1 interception and lost 4 fumbles. Also, sophomore linebacker Nate Dreiling and senior receiver John Thomas earned this week's MIAA honors for their outstanding play on defense and special teams. The Pittsburg State University Lady Gorillas took on Missouri Southern last night at John Lance Arena. In front of a crowd of 2,300 fans for Pack the Weed and under a new scoreboard, the Gorillas struggled early on against the Lions, dropping the first 2 sets 25-22 and 25-23. Pitt State took sets 3 and 4, 25-16 and 25-20 to force a 5th game, but lost that game 16-14. Pitt State falls to Missouri Southern 3-2. Freshman Morgan Voorhees had a double-double on the match with 11 kills and 14 digs. She leads the team in kills with 3.14 kills per game. They will go against Southwest Baptist this Friday in Bolivar, Missouri. The Pittsburg State Gorillas cross-country squad took on the Missouri Southern Lions in a dual meet last night. The men's squad fell to Missouri Southern by 3 points, but junior Adam Volkert won the 8-kilometer race with a time of 24 minutes and 8 seconds. The women's squad dominated the race, beating the Lions 25-33. Junior Melissa Peden finished 3rd overall with a time of 17 minutes 56 seconds. Teammates Alex Mose, Kaylee Tamat, Erica Testa, and Casey Epps all finished 5th, 6th, 7th, and 9th. The next race is on October 1st at the OSU Cowboy Jamboree. This week, the Kansas City Chiefs looked to get their first win of the season against the Detroit Lions, but they were completely dominated on all aspects of the game, losing 48-3. There wasn't a lot that the Chiefs could do to stop Matthew Stafford through the air. He threw for 296 yards and 4 touchdowns. As if losing to the Lions was enough, they also lost their starting running back, Jamal Charles, for the year with an ACL tear.
You know they need to look into signing that mascot. You know that the one that made the tackle on Charles?
They do. He did a great job of hurting Charles for the year and killing the Chiefs' chances.
It's just sad. Up next on GTV, the Student Activities Council invited a hypnotist to train some students to do their homework.
Good luck with that. In the meantime, here's a look at the Caps' 13-day forecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Joe Kennard, and this is the Sports Block. This weekend, the Pitt State Gorillas took on the Washburn Ichabods in the second round of the Division II playoffs. Looking to avenge their loss 3 weeks ago to the Ichabods and move on to the regional finals, on the cold, windy, rainy day, the Gorillas start out slow on offense, going 3 and out. Then disaster struck with an errant snap by long snapper Billy Evie. It goes over the head of punter Jake Craig and out the back of the end zone for a 2-0 Washburn lead. Washburn would get the ball after the safety. They would drive down the field to the Gorillas' 17-yard line. Dane Sibno would drop back to pass and toss the ball up to wide receiver Matt Cobbman for a touchdown. Ichabods up 9-0 in the first. On to the second quarter, Pitt State now with the wind at their back. It's 3rd and 7 from the Ichabod 15. Zach Dickey will drop back to pass. Finding no one open, he scrambles and directs traffic. He dives into the end zone and finds the pylon, but the side judge would say he's out of bounds. 2 plays later, Mandel Dixon will put it in from the 1-yard line. PAT is good, 9-7 Washburn. Later in the second, it's 3rd and 6 at the Washburn 45. Dickey will drop back, but forced out of the pocket by pressure. He scrambles and throws it to Briston Kelly. Bryce Atagi will step in front of the pass and take it 50 yards for the pick 6. The extra point will go through, 16-7 Washburn. Later in the second quarter, Washburn now up 16-14. It's 2nd and 6 at the Ichabod 38. Dickey will fake the end around and he will find Andrew Castaneda deep for the touchdown. Pitt leads 21-16. On to the fourth quarter, Pitt State now up 24-16. Girls backed up to their own goal line. Washburn is unable to convert the fourth down after having 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Pitt State ball. Next possession, the Pitt would drive down the field on the Ichabods. They will line up at the Washburn 16, 1st and 10. Dickey hands off to Jason Spradley on an outside zone. He will stiff arm one pursuer and take it in for the touchdown. Extra points made, Pitt put up 31-16. After that, Washburn would score one more time to make it 31-22. After the missing the extra point, the Gorillas would recover the onside kick to seal it for Pittsburg State, 31-22. Midwestern State was defeated by Northwest Missouri State last weekend, 38-31 in overtime. Northwest Missouri State will come into Carney Smith Stadium looking to play a complete game against the Gorillas this time around. A kickoff is set for 1 p.m. Pitt State men's basketball started their MIAA play last night, and this time it was against the 5-1 Missouri Western State University Griffins. It was close throughout the game, but the Gorillas came out on top of the Griffins 77-71. Javon McGee would lead the Gorilla charge, earning a double-double with 17 points and pulling down 11 rebounds. Andre Bailey also earned a double-double with 10 points and 11 rebounds. Other top scorers for the Gorillas were Eric Ray and Drake Green, putting up 17 apiece. Missouri Western's TJ Johnson was the top scorer for the Griffins with 13. Also, Dylan France was the second top scorer with 12. The biggest factor in the game was from the free throw line. Pitt State outscored the Griffins 22-6 from the charity stripe. The Gorillas, now 5-2 on the season, will travel to Kirksville, Missouri Saturday to take on Truman State. The Pittsburg State Gorilla women also opened up their MIAA play last night against the Griffins. The Gorillas would completely roll over Midwestern State 82-57. Larissa Richards would lead the Gorillas with her 4th double-double of the season with 11 points and 10 rebounds. Drew Roberts led the Gorillas with 14 points while going 4 for 7 from three-point range. Missouri Western's Jessica Koch would lead all scorers for either team with 24 points. Brittany Griswold would add 11 points for the Griffins. The Gorillas would shoot 37% from three-point land and 42.6% from the floor, while the Griffins only shot 29% beyond the arc and 31% from the floor. Pitt State women would remain unbeaten on the season, 7-0. They will go to Kirksville on Saturday looking to remain undefeated against the Truman State Bulldogs.
Coming up, holiday spirit is in the air as Pitt State holds a gingerbread house competition.
But just before that, here's the weather outlook on your Caps 13-day forecast.